Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back. For those of you who don't know, we are starting everyday video challenge for this channel. It's been about a year of a break, so we're gonna talk about everything under the sun, and then we'll see what happens after a month. We'll test different features and different styles and different topics. So you feel free to contribute. I feel that's the only way to start making videos again is do it unprepared and see what happens. So unfortunately today is not my favorite topic, but I just absolutely have to talk about this. So yesterday we had a beautiful Easter Sunday. I hope that your Sunday was very relaxing and very peaceful and that you took a break from this crazy world. I personally have a rule to not watch news on the weekend, but especially on Sunday. And on top of that, it was a resurrection. Oh, excuse me. It was a resurrection Sunday. It was a special Sunday. It was Easter, major holiday, and I was doing a live stream yesterday and somebody mentioned something. I thought that was a joke, but one of my subscribers mentioned that yesterday on Easter Sunday, um, they announced our so-called president announced the Transgender Visibility Day. Transgender Visibility on Easter Sunday. And you know, when I hear and I see these things, as an immigrant, still, although I'm a US citizen now, but as an immigrant, as a person that came to this country, I feel that I feel completely lost and threatened personally. It's really have been getting so progressively worse. I feel that, or my observation is that it may not have been as important before to be in a circle of people where you align, where you align your values. It hasn't been for me that important before, so much people's beliefs and their values in particular. But I feel that right now, imagine being married to somebody that would be uploading to this major slap to Christianity, religious people, anybody who have any kind of traditional values, and proclaiming something abhorrent, as they say, like this, as one of the holiest holidays of the year, making it into this mess again. Imagine living with a person, being married to the person that is passionately support these kind of movements. Imagine having the conflicts. Imagine raising children with a man or a woman that actively supports this insane woke nonsense. That's why I'm speechless, and sometimes I feel that um maybe it's time to rethink um personally certain things. Maybe it's time to move, I don't know, but it's getting worse. You know, you feel like it cannot get any further. You feel like there couldn't be nothing worse than this, that it's already so bad that it cannot get worse in terms of woke progressivism here in the United States. You feel like, well, yeah, it's reached its limits, and oh well. But unfortunately, it's getting worse and worse. I really want to hear your opinion, guys. What do you have to say about it? I may not stay for so long today. Not only because I probably shouldn't do too long of videos, but also my phone is not charged, and I'm just trying to follow up with my promise to make the videos. Hey Elizabeth, good to see you. But good to see you, darling. But I'm just it makes me really it makes me question everything. Um I'm really concerned about our children, and it's very interesting that they call this it's very interesting that they call this Transgender Visibility Day, when we reminded about transgender community every single day with flags in schools, in like elementary and middle school, in high school. We see this in on top of the buildings of churches. I don't think we reminded about anything that makes sense anymore, anything logical, anything that has value, that is not confusing. I don't see reminders of any classic, any traditional values. I don't know, maybe you see them somewhere. I don't see those reminders, and it's extremely sad. It's extremely sad, and honestly it's scary. It makes me question my choices to stay in here in US, and it really makes me question it, because I don't want to be. It's getting worse, especially if you have small children. How do you raise your child through this confusion? How do you explain them? Like, I don't know about those of you guys who are watching or will be watching. Like, when I was 7, 8, 9 years old, not only I didn't know anything about transgenders, but I didn't know I didn't know anything. I didn't really know much about that aspect of life that we all learn as we go. But children should be children. Children should be able to be children. They should be able to put to eat mud, to have fun, to play, to just be careless, because you're only child once. Why do they need to know those nasty, disgusting things? As a grown woman, those things freak me out. These things make me so uncomfortable, and I'm a grown woman, and I understand a lot more than a child would. I'm prepared for this. I think that children, they're just so gentle, and they're just so beautiful. They have such beautiful, pure souls. Why do they need this demonic stuff? Why do they need to even know about it? You learn about certain things when you grow up. You, whether you want it or not, you probably going to you're gonna learn it. When I was growing up, like, I don't even know how old I was. I must have been already way into my teenage years when I even learned about all those perverted stuff. But I just feel that it's very hard to protect our beautiful children. I have now I have family here. For those who may not know me, I'm originally from Ukraine, but I have been living last 15 plus years, almost 16 here in US. And I do live in my own world, and I try to keep things the way I like them. But uh, I'm just I feel pain for the children, especially. On this channel, I talk about common sense relationships, about polarity, about connection between men and women. I love when things make sense. I love when things connect. Things are not that complicated. When we talk about connections and relationships, it's really not that difficult. But when every day you're brainwashed that you're the same, that you men the same as women are the same as men can get pregnant. When you see this nonsense, it makes life so complicated. It makes things so confusing. I just feel that, imagine raising a child, and you have a spouse, a partner, who is believing in these things, who will teach your children that, oh yeah, men can get pregnant, or We are the same, we are not the same. We operating differently. We are, as women, we go through our cycles, through our hormones. Men operate differently. We have our own things. But now they trying to change, literally try to change the science to manipulate that. And that's why if my phone dies, I want to let you know in this video that I felt the pain of very religious people, everybody who was offended yesterday by this transgender visibility BS. And my heart goes to all the people who took it, especially in a sensitive way. I feel like it's a true slap in your face. It really is. It's a slap in the face for uh, people who celebrate the holiday. I also feel it's like a special cruelty. You need to have a special cruelty to do it on one of the most holiest, most special holidays of the year. You have to be is you need to, it's like when you push the knife in and you need to twist it. It's the disrespect, the audacity. So once again, when we choosing friends, partners, um, romantic interests, and so on, it is so important to be on the same page. And it makes no sense or no point to try to adjust it, and try to be like, oh yeah, I believe the same thing as you do. You're like, yeah, yeah, sure. I think it's so important to actually be with somebody who is completely on the same page with you, even maybe more passionate than you, because then you can protect yourself from these influences and you can do so much better. When you have to fight inside of your unit whether or not your child gonna be wearing the rainbow outfits. And it's funny because rainbow, what hurts me also, that rainbow have been always symbol of childhood happiness. We have saying rainbows and butterflies, and such a beautiful symbol, but now they turn it into something evil. And once again, having to fight with your closest person about the choices, about the influence, about of how much of this woke BS you can let in your life. If you do not align inside of your unit, the life gonna be absolutely miserable. For me personally, I know 100%, and I always knew that no matter how tolerant I can be, on public and respectful of other people, I know that alignment on the core issues is extremely important for a personal relationship. If you do not align 100%, your life is going to be hell. Especially when we have such a polarizing situations right now, and they make sure over there that they put the oil in the fire. They really make sure that they put oil in the fire so we suffer and our children suffer. So just a reminder, I don't think it was as important before. I don't know. Yes, I would honestly say that maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know that it was as polarizing, at least in my case, but right now it is. It's one thing to have some far family members, far acquaintances, but it's another thing to have somebody who follows the evil in your own home, and your children does not have a stable um your children don't have a stability in terms of views, in terms of who to follow, right? So my dear friends, thank you so much for the comments. Let me read a couple of your comments. And yes, I just think that is so important. Yes, when we are very young, Usually when you meet someone, you describe their looks or like their character, or that they're funny, or that they're tall or handsome or pretty. But I feel like right now it's like, are they on this side or on the other side? Do they follow common sense? I think it's much more important than other factors. Hello, Elizabeth again. Thanks so much for supporting for being here. Guillotine Gallows. I'm sorry that I'm reading if I'm not reading your name correctly, but please correct me if I'm wrong. The more older I get, the more confused I am. Yes, got yelled at by someone because I said ma'am. That is so awkward because ma'am is very respectful thing to say. Yeah, maybe they identify as somebody else, not a ma'am. Hello, Roger. Hello, Justin. Justin says, I agree with you. Good. Um, but I'm also okay if somebody have a different opinion. Feel free to share it because I'm trying to understand where people are coming from. Thank you, Guillotine, for support. I appreciate your comments. Somebody else says bad civic. In Russian language, in Russian history, look up sexual revolution before the Russian Revolution. Then look up related topics throughout the early years of Soviet. Um, that's interesting suggestion. What are you trying to say with that? It's my first language, so I know a few things about revolution, but not sure what point you're trying to make. Oh yeah, understanding this is all in understanding the socialist theory of revolution. Yes, I get it. I get that part, and when I was in school, that was a big part of the study is studying the social the processes in society, and unfortunately, I felt it on my own skin much later. Let's see. Nobody Told Me by John Lennon. It's maybe a beautiful song. I love Beatles. It's right. You read it right. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Welcome. I think must be new to my channel. I am restarting the channel after a long time, so I'm very glad to see my new subscribers, and big hug, of course, to my all-time subscribers. The game is always the same. Yes, it is so interesting. I think I understand what you mean, because when I came to the United States, I was expecting to see a lot more freedom, a lot more opportunity for self-expression. And I felt actually here being a lot less free than when I was, of course, now there is a war in Ukraine for a long time, but before that, I felt a lot freer being over there, because you can express yourself, and you don't have to worry about being canceled. You can just say things for what they are. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Dostoevsky, «Преступление, наказание». Dostoevsky, «Crime and Punishment». Yes, the lead character is woke. You see, it applies today. Yeah, actually, wouldn't be a bad idea to read it again now. Would not be a bad idea. And that's another thing. I'm looking at the literature that they suggest for children to read, like in middle school and high school. There is a classic novels. Where are those gems of the world literature? Why are they reading all this woke nonsense? Um, there are some good stories and inspiring stories, but it's just really sad that this generation of children and young people gonna be so uneducated. Because one of the things that I was always proud of, Russian and Ukrainian culture, is that we read a lot, and we had to really learn, analyze, put our own thoughts, make our own mind, analyze the literature, the classic novels, the characters, the depths of the character, and so on and so forth. Something that is really lacking in United States public education. Maybe depends on the state, but when I see the literature, I'm just, even classic American literature is not, they just choose all kinds of weird things right now. I don't want to, like, some really strange things that are really not that prominent, not that deep, and not that interesting in terms of the character and depths of philosophy behind it. So reading Dostoevsky, bad civic. Reading Dostoevsky is not a bad idea at all. I and now I found out that I can actually get classic literature online, so that is kind of amazing. So, my dear friends, thank you for joining me at these discussions. I have a lot of ideas, and I'm just gonna see how the channel gonna go. We're going to discuss different things. I really do not want this to be me preaching, because that's not what I'm here for. I would love to hear your opinion. If you suffering through the same things, if you if you find it really shocking and disappointing that things just do not stop and they keep progressing, and I want to hear your ideas, your solutions. Somebody asked me where I would go. I would go somewhere apolitical, where they just don't throw this rainbow stuff down, don't push it down your throat. And yeah, but the thing is, we all have responsibilities. Some of us has families, some of us, it's, if I would be doing it all over again, it's 100% that I would not be here, because the cost of living is still pretty high in the United States, even in the Midwest where I live. So I don't know. And I do most of my things online, so it doesn't matter that much. And I just think that living in this consistent, toxic environment was it's just unbearable. It's hard to watch. And there are many things and places to explore, instead of wasting your energy and time and attention to all this what's going on. you know it's funny, because just before Easter, I was thinking to myself, okay, this weekend I'm recharging, I'm creating my own peace, I'm not listening. And I do this a lot, and I was not listening till I've learned this extremely insensitive, disrespectful announcement that our leader, so to speak, made. I thought it was a joke. I did think that that could not be serious, but unfortunately, it was not a joke. And that's the place. That's the society we are living in. It's all the weird stuff that makes no sense get all the rewards and gets all the attention. We only have like two choices: either um, create communities here that support common sense and logic and certain moral values, or leave, and live somewhere apolitical, where just palms and bananas. What do you guys think? Those of you who catch in the last minutes, please comment once the video is over. Yeah, you can buy a lot of bananas for some if you have if you get paid in dollars and you go to some I mean, we are pretty much a banana republic here in the US with levels of corruption. Seriously, it's mind blowing. But nevertheless, on my channel, we're going to be talking about things that make sense and logical things and things, interactions and polarity between men and women, and how to just enjoy lives that make sense. It feels good. I feel so bad for young people who are trying to figure things out right now. I feel so bad because they must be so confused. So confused, like at all times. Confusion on top of confusion on top of confusion. So I hope that despite this awful event, you still had a wonderful Easter. You were able to be with your family or just enjoying some peace. It is so important. You know, the more mature I get, the more I appreciate peace inside and out. And I'm, of course, hoping for the better outcomes for all the extremely brutal things that going on in the world. But I think that people who have logic and common sense need to be stop being shy and voice their opinions as much as people who don't have common sense or logic try to instill this very controversial, very perverted values into our minds, try to make them normal, try to convince our children that that is normal. I hope that more of us will have a voice and we won't be shy and we no longer be the silent uh, majority, that we're going to be outspoken majority. Oops, sorry guys, my phone is saying that these are probably my last words for today. I could teach Russian history in 4 movies. We the Living, Dr. Zhivago, Moscow doesn't believe in tears and blood. Those are those are like very descriptive, maybe in a way iconic movies, but history, I have to tell you, you know, being from that part of the world, history goes a lot deeper than the movies, because movie is still a performance. There is still a lot of added things. Even history movies are not really accurate because it's about the play, it's about the actors. Those movies, they do open up a little bit about atmosphere, maybe about certain beliefs, um, but you have to really learn. Documentaries will bring somebody very close. I am a big fan of watching documentaries and things like that, and yeah, the documentary movies, books, interviews with people who lived through things, they are very enriching. But these particular movies and more also culturally could be very interesting and helpful. So, but most of all, I'm just, you know, I caught myself yesterday with the progress of how wrong things have been going. I caught myself feeling very uncomfortable and uncertain about the future, because normalization of this is very painful, you know. Normalization of all this woke stuff, and it has been evolving with such a high speed that that just really pains me and make me question some choices. So I hope that everybody have a support support group in this time, you know, people who think the same, that we don't lose our mind completely. Hmm. Yeah, traveling is one of the best things to experience it. Oh, he's saying also very deeper than you think. Well, I study history in my college, and I still want to tell you, the movies are good culturally, but deep knowledge come from deep research. That is my view. You may disagree. That's all right. I'm from Yugoslavia. My wife is from Russia. Been to 26 countries. Yeah, when you go to countries and you see museums and you learn from people, you listen to the experiences, you learn history. Yes, documentaries are as biased as a movie. Documentary is a bit more accurate. Let me disagree with you a little bit on that, but it depends who is filming them, and it depends how much of documentary, how much documents is in documentary. I personally love watching documentaries, especially the quality ones that takes lots of research. You can see lots of documents and so on and so forth. But regardless, any serious focused education um help you to see the trends and to understand the past and kind of in a way predict the future. Also, I don't think we could have predicted this mess uh, just exactly like it is. But anyway, my dear friends, thank you so much for joining my live stream. I'm going to try to either send to either upload a pre-recorded video or do a live. I want to do a 30-day live challenge because you becoming so rusty after not posting, and I feel that it's good time right now to reconnect. Thank you so much for your kind words, for the support. By the way, Elizabeth, thank you so much for being a member for so many months. If you enjoy my content and you want to become a member to support the channel, I highly appreciate that. If in case if that's something that you like and enjoy watching, I also very grateful to you for the thoughtful comments and for stopping by. And I'm looking forward for more discussions and things. And it's I feel that it's my privilege to be able to connect with you, and I hope that we'll all grow in some way and make it through this insanity that seem to never stop, this way or another. So, my dear friends, enjoy your evening, enjoy the peace, create the peace in your mind, and learn the power of that. We need to remind ourselves about the power of creating peace in your own home. So, with that being said, I will see you very soon. And thank you so much for stopping by. Feel free to post your thoughts, your opinions down in the comments below. Have a wonderful night. Wait, look what I'm doing. Good night, everybody. And thanks, Elizabeth.